Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the stuff from Silver Tempest, make sure you check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your orders using that code OmniPoke. For today's video, we are going to be looking at Palkia Vikavolt, the unlikely winner at the Stuttgart Regional Championships, and it's kind of been the sort of Polish contingent of players that know something clearly that we don't, because they had a player make top 8 with this archetype before. No one really batted an eyelid as we moved into the Silver Tempest format, and then straight away in the first European Regional they've done one better and gone all the way to win the tournament with this archetype. It doesn't even play many cards from the latest two sets, but it's just keeping the core concept of Vikavolt and Palkia that seems to be doing a lot here. The Paralyzing Bolt, of course, is one of the main selling points of this deck. Because we are playing Water Energy and Melanie, we have easy ways of getting the Paralyzing Bolt up as quickly as turn 1 going second. And we actually have a lot of consistency cards in the deck to try and help us do that. So we really are trying to lean into this Paralyzing Bolt as quickly as possible. This can obviously be huge for Lost Box variants, and I think that's one of the main selling points of this archetype. You really are strong into that matchup. Even though you're only doing 50 damage, you're denying all of their switch outs, which is the whole reason the deck works in the first place, to be honest. And you have Zigzagoon to help deal with Cramorants in one hit thanks to weakness, and you can even use your scoop up nets to finish off comp phase that you've hit for 50 to really just make life as awkward for them as possible. Also, of course, your lightning typing shouldn't be slept on into the Lugia matchup. I think at this point there's a lot of Dunsparce that has come out of Lugia. We basically just have to commit our tech spaces to other things right now, mostly control-based stuff and paralysis shenanigans, you know. So we're seeing Birdkeeper Eldegoss packages going in, we're seeing 1/1 Espeon VMAX lines go in, and that usually means there's no room for the dunce. And I think that's one of the better things for Vikavolt, making this Paralyzing Bolt actually relevant damage. You're still, you know, 3-shotting a VSTAR, but it's still pretty reasonable to do this chip damage, and it's still pretty good for us. And of course we have the second attack Super Zap Cannon that can one-hit KO the V-Stars. I think really we're once again reliant on the fact that item lock is going to slow down these Lugia players at the same time, because on paper it doesn't look like we have that good of a matchup here. Yes, we have the Vikavolts, yes, we have a Raikou, but it feels like we can get out-traded because we are playing, you know, we're basically attacking with only 2 prizes unless we're using our Radiant Greninja to skew the prize race. Which should be pretty awkward for us most of the time, but you have to remember that a Paralyzing Bolt, especially if we've gone second and not allowed the Lugia player to use a supporter, means they have to proactively find all these Archeops and Ball Search cards and play them all out as quickly as possible. And we're seeing lists these days go as low as like 2 V-Star at times, so the item lock actually starts becoming pretty annoying and really hurts a lot of their outs, which is really important. So yeah, a decent fan of the Paralyzing Bolts. We really cross our fingers that it does a lot. And the good news about this attack is that it deals with a lot of the new random stuff that's just kind of been coming onto the scene. We're seeing some uptick in like Inteleon toolbox decks and even Palkintel, and Vikavolt is really good against those things. Even things like Fluffy boxes, none of them will appreciate the item lock because they are less consistent than the other decks that were already established in the format. So really important to shut them down, put them back into our pace, and really start taking advantage of the board when they can't use their item cards to get their Pokemon out or move between them quite as easily. So yeah, this is the focal point of the deck for almost every matchup. I think it's only really against Mew when it's like a panic play that I'll use it, but pretty much against most other things I'll look to try and get this as early as possible. Then we are playing one Raikou V. Fleet-footed gives us extra card advantage, which is a bit of a theme of the deck, honestly. We have a lot of ways to grow that hand size. We have Greninja scoop-up nets, we have trekking shoes, we have speed lightning energy, we have Melanie. All of this compounds on top of each other. Fleet-footed would just be another one to add to that list. But the Lightning Rondo is a really nice option here. Again, gives us that lightning type coverage into Lugia, and is also really important for the 2-2-2 prize map we try and do against Mew players. Because we are also having the Palkias in here, we're very much looking to just deal with their lower hit point stuff. You'll notice there's not a single choice belt in the list, so we only care about dealing with their lower hit point stuff. We basically constantly push their VMAX out the way And it's made possible because we play Fish Boss as well as Cross Switches to try and make that happen, so we can continually use Melanie and still be able to gust as much as possible. So the Raikou really important for the Lugia and the Mew matchup. The Palkia is also, of course, very important here. We have the regular V that can do a 200 damage attack if need be, but adding in the Palkia VSTAR, kind of an interesting one really. I think this is actually really important for the Mew matchup, so we can do that race where we basically have to abandon the item lock most of the time. And having a Star Portal also enables the one single prize Pokemon we have in the deck, which is our Radiant Greninja as well. So a lot of the time we use that Star Portal to allow us to rev up the Moonlight Shuriken, which is really important. Again, it can help set up math on lower hit point things, again, be really annoying for Lost Box. We're item locking for a huge portion of the game, and we're also able to jump ahead in prize cards with the Radiant Greninja at times, which is really, really awkward to deal with. Again, very annoying for some of these other decks that don't have items at their disposal, so we can pick apart their board if we want to release the lock to knock out certain things, like Drizziles or Flaffies, I guess, are now cards that we have to think about in the format. Yeah, we're not shurikening these is going to be really important. So yeah, Palkia good in its own right, but also a big enabler for our one single prize Pokemon that we have in the deck to attack with, really. The Lumineon, I guess, can be used to attack with because we play Palkia, but I wouldn't really do it very often. It can be, again, something you do against Lost Box if, for some reason, item lock's broken and you get hit with Rope. You could go into the Lumineon and still try and buy that turn back by Star Portaling and Aqua Returning, but this is mostly in here to try and guarantee that Melanie. Really important because we want to establish that lock as quickly as possible. The deck really crumbles if you don't get that lock. We are playing 4 Mysterious Tail Mew. Very strong card in the game, allowing us to dig deep into that deck, and that's really the main focus of the deck. We are combo reliant, so hitting VIP passes obviously huge, hitting Ball Search cards, E-Search, these are all really important for us to just turn through the deck and make sure we hit our Melanie combos, of course, in the mid-game as well. Grabbing Cross Switches are a really big deal. And when we have so much cycle, it's a really nice thing to bear in mind, and it's great to lead out with that one prize Pokemon when you have gone first into the likes of Mew and into the likes of Lugia, and you can leave it up there as a sacrificial lamb, not being a huge problem for you. Obviously, you have to be careful of it in the Lost Box matchups because you only have 60 hit points, but really you play 4, but you only really want 1 in play most of the time. Every now and then you'll put a second one down if you're like panic digging for Cross Switchers or something. But yeah, you only really need 1 in play. The Zig, really helpful, like I said, for Lost Box, so you can make sure you're knocking out Comphase and cashing in on that damage at times. And Cramorant, same thing there. And it can also be a fixer for Palkia or Raikou Math when need be. The items all speak for themselves, really. VIP Pass, 2 Quick, 2 Ultra to just search all of our Pokemon. Of course, we have to play Ultras to give us access to VSTAR. So a little bit more valuable there. A little bit more versatile than just playing 4 Quick Balls. We got the Shoes, the Nets, obviously very good on Mew, very good on Zig, and very good on Greninja. So these are actually pretty vital resources for us. E-Search, because we're playing 2 different types of basic energy. And again, we want Mysterious Tail value here. We're playing Hisuian Heavy Ball because we're quite low on our Pokemon count, actually. Just 2 Vikavolt as our main attacker, 2 Palkia, and 1 Raikou. So it's enough to see us through the game, and the Hisuian Heavy Ball is definitely a big reason for that. Lost Vacuum, again, pretty important card, actually. If you are going to go for Panic item lock against a Mew player, the Lost Vacuum is one of the main enablers for that. If they establish the early belt, it feels terrible going for a Paralyzing Bolt with a Vikavolt, but if you are able to get rid of a belt with Lost Vacuum, you're going to be able to survive with your Vikavolt a lot of the time because we're taking into account reductions with DTE most of the time here. So that's obviously very important, and we play no physical stadium in the deck, so this is going to help us bounce Path of the Peak to enable our Greninja and our Palkia as well. And of course, this is item searchable, so it gives us higher odds than just having a physical stadium count in the deck, so it makes a lot of sense here. It could also be a way to just thin out things like excess VIP pass in the mid-game. Doesn't sound like much, but for a deck that is quite combo reliant as we get into the late game, you don't want to be hit with those Marnies or those Roxannes and run into these VIP passes, so having that extra removal from your hand is obviously very important here as well. So yeah, very well crafted deck. I actually rate this a lot, and it's something I'm going to put a lot of time into because I still feel like it's underrated because the matchups aren't that like obvious on paper, I guess you could say, and there's still not enough data around this in terms of like online results to see where this deck actually shapes up. But I can see the game plans into most decks, and if it was really, I was very critical of the deck until I saw the finals game of Stuttgart Regionals, when I was like kind of convinced. I saw that you drew like 10 cards on the first turn or something, and then you can do basically whatever you want. So that was a big selling point for me. So let's get into it. We are starting off with VIP Pass and some cards that help us draw cards. That's the name of the deck, really. We are gotta go fast gamers. Think of it like a Vika Aleki that actually gets set up. Now that's a selling point. Right, sorry about that. I see a fish, which makes me think it's probably Lugia. Right. That's going to be my first instinct. Against Lugia, we do like our lightning package, but the Palkia still puts in a shift here as well. Obviously, we're going first, so there's no doubt I'm going Vikavolt Greninja here. We definitely want water in the bin. We'll take our card for free. We will Speed Lightning to Vikavolt. Let's play down Palk. It's not unlikely that they play Armani. Because I have got my attachment in, though, I could try and just hold this anyway. Because if I do commit the air balloon and then I get randomly gusted, I mean, I'm probably winning if that happens. Probably just going to hold the hand, honestly. I think it's holdable. It's a little bit gross if I do get hit with Marnie, but it's not the worst. We can still find a way out of this Raikou by like Melanieing here, turn attaching here, something like that. Oh, it's actually a mirror. Okay, so there were some items I could have played. Certainly. Alright. They are playing Belt as well, which is something we're clearly not. I'm going to see a couple extra cards from Bat here. Looks like they're just lacking the lightning energy right now. That will almost certainly be a water one, yep. Alright. So they're playing a different build from the list we've seen. They're actually going to have to run away here. Alright, that's very good for us. Obviously missing item lock is huge. Let's take our card. Just figuring out my order of operations here before I commit to anything. I guess it should just be the VIPs because I could get into a scoop up net. Don't need Mew. The Bat's not very helpful either. We're obviously going to evolve up. Unfortunately, we're not very near to Cross Switchers, which is kind of the main thing here. I can always just fall back and Paralyzing Bolt. Regardless, I can attach to the Vikavolt anyway here. Doing a good job of thinning here. Ooh, Cross Switcher is spicy. Scoop up means we're not done yet. I could try an air balloon. Go into Mew, knowing I have nets for the Mew. Give me a deeper dig towards my second Cross Switcher. But I'm going to just do this, I think. Because if I'm going to Star Portal aggressively, I want it to be for more value, so I can try and threaten Greninja as well. I mean, look how many cards we've got through here. I've got 20 cards remaining in deck. We do whiff the cross switches though, so we're going to still end up having the slower turn. Which is a bit of a shame. So we're just going to Paralyzing Bolt here. We see another Melanie from them. This time onto the Lumineon. So it looks like they're an old school build with Drapion VSTAR. And just a pass. Things you love to see. It means I can item lock again. Take our 2. Let's cycle these cards. Vacuum seems good on the Vika if I'm not taking the knockouts. I'll still Melanie here because boss doesn't make too much sense on anything. Cross Switcher has arrived, so we can go Cross Switch. I'm a little bit worried about leaving the Drapion in play, but I still think I chase the Vikavolt here. Take our free card. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Alright, we will begin the race. For me to have any fears this game, they probably need to VSTAR and item lock us back. Yep, there's the VSTAR. But they probably also need to have a health buff tool for the Vikavolt for me to be in actual trouble. Otherwise, we're just going to be fine outracing them, right? You see their concealed cards. Tricking Shoes. They can move their Greninja. Get rid of a speed, so they are lacking the Melanie here. Just a Marnie, so they can't item lock again this turn. They can paralyze, but if I find my other cross switches, don't I just win? Probably. And there's a Cross Switcher. Yeah, okay. We were against the outdated Mirror, which might be stronger against Mew. But hey. Palkia can still do bits. Alright, let's get another game in. This is a going second game, and we already have Quick Ball Water Melanie in hand, so pretty good going. Ah, and it's against a Lugia, so going second against Lugia is exactly the science we want to learn. We need to see just how bad it is to cross your fingers that Vikavolt does the job. Now obviously it's only a one-game sample, so don't shout at me if we lose incredibly here. But we will be trying to react to what our opponent does. If they just go Guru... Okay, they go Stoutland. So we can actually KO this with a Raikou as well. Right, because I can fill my own board. Which is looking pretty insane. Let's Melanie first. Okay. We're whiffing on VIP pass pretty hard here. VIP gives me access to Greninja to draw 2. And then I'm drawing 1 from Fleet-Footed as well. It's not looking great, but it's something, as they say. Ugh, no lightning energy. No way to get lightning energy. I have to attempt 1 Fleet-Footed to try and do it. We'll face losing on the spot. I can't go Mysterious Tail because then I just rope, and I don't want to rope KO. It defeats the whole purpose. So it looks like I'm taking 2 Pokemon out of the deck and going Fleet-Footed, hope for the best. Now, I'd probably take 1 Pokemon out of the deck, right? Because then it gives me the 1 Ultra Ball, 1 Quick Ball outs to draw from Crobat. Okay. Show me the way. Oh, I thought it was. It was that side of the hand as well. Well, when you miss the combo, it all feels really bad. I'm probably... I can't even rope anything into Stoutland, right? Because he just clowns me with it if it all goes to plan. Oh, I just went on the spot with the lightning energy there. Right? So sad. Yeah, I guess I have to pass with the Raikou active as well, but it's so bad. I could try and pass with the throwing the Stoutland active and going Vika active. Maybe I could go into the Palkia actually. Yeah, let's try this. I think it's too bad for us to lose the Raikou. We're probably allowed to lose the Palkia and use the next one. Alright, they had Bird Keeper as their supporter anyway. Ah, we so likely to kill them. And now they get to Ultra Ball away to Archeops. Item Lock would have battered them. Knocking out Lugia wins the game immediately. The greediest capture energy is not getting punished right now. Sheesh. So they're going to take the first two prizes. And honestly, I think it just derails from here. I don't know how I win this game now. I guess if they don't get another relevant attacker down, I can do stuff with Raikou, but it's either you item lock immediately or not at all, and neither of those things happened. Oh, sorry, because we didn't do it early, it has to be a not at all. So we are going to get trounced by Lugia, but we should have trounced them turn 1 if we just see one of our 7 outs to Lightning Energy. Crumbs. Even gets a vacuum, sure. We'll stay in the game just because they don't have everything yet. Let's fleet-footed. Classic. Alright, well, we'll respond and see how good their hand is. If they come in swinging with the Yveltal, we just have to shake their hand. I possibly could have netted up Mew here as well to deny the Stoutland. Probably should have done that. Against a pretty atrocious hand here. Charizard is going to be a problem. At least Charizard can't move. That's the good news. Charizard stays right where he is. Let's dig towards some speeds, shall we? Shall we? Oh. Well. I guess we're cooked. Well, you saw the window of opportunity that we didn't jump through to beat Lugia, at least. One of these days, players will get punished. Honestly, if they just capture correctly and get 2 Lugias down, I just try the Vikavolt item lock thing, and that's like the other attempt, right? We just hope it's tricky for them to research a way to raw Archeops without the Ball Search cards. And find VSTAR. Sometimes it still happens, but... Alright, an interesting start for us. I have sunk low enough on the ladder for this. Okay. Blaziken. Okay. Not the worst, not the worst. I'm going to start with a tail here. That's very good for us. And let's see 2 more. And let's see 3 more. Nice, okay. Also means I get to net here. Start working on this Palkia. See the outcome of this. Probably not going to bin these too aggressively. Alright, we'll just take the poke. Kind of terrified that they're playing Urshifu. We'll see. I mean, look at the hand sizes this deck gets to. Look at the cycle it gets to. It's like a Genesect without Genesects. Alright, the Marty does feel kind of bad for us, but they really didn't do much either, so... That is a rough hand. Alright, well I'm going to try and do this, at least. Where there's a Crobat, there's a way. Okay, it's not the worst. Ooh, rope. Yeah, now we're in business. We've done this guy, yeah. That oh so relevant water type coverage for the Blaziken VMAX matchup. coming in clutch. I mean, but let's be fair. The opponent had no playable cards in hand, had to Marnie, then had no playable cards in hand. And I want to hedge that some of those will be item cards. So Vikavolt, even though it was a tepid 50, still did its job. Alright, them having to Crobat is very good for us. Clara, sure. Just Blaziken? Yeah. Now they'd have to bench another Urshifu to do anything. But they can't do it, so I think we're just there. Not that this gives us any information whatsoever about anything. Bring back that Drapion, I guess. Don't really need any of these cards, just want to thin them. Yep. Alright, these are bizarre games. Let's try and get one more snuck in, maybe? At least we're showing the engine off, right? Freaking Rapid Strike .deck. It's kind of just like an interesting selection of treat attackers. You can play aggressively into a 2/2/2 prize map. You have the frustration of item lock at your disposal. This is a more of an awkward hand. We probably need the help of Crobat here. And we're actually up against a Mew, so this is an interesting one, I think. There's a couple of things we can try and do. If they go wide, we can try and get the early Raikou 2-prize knockout into Palkia 2-prize knockout into Palkia 2-prize knockout, if everything's there. If they leave this Genesect active, I can try and do a Grief, Paralyzing Bolt, buy some time, strategy, and then initiate a race. It all relies on me hitting that item lock though, and this hand isn't helping us get there too much right now. The fact they've got the early Forest Sealstone doesn't change much. The only thing it means is they could guarantee a DTE retreat next turn if I am going to Paralyzing Bolt. And that's only an issue if they get a DTE turn 1. But even then, if it's DTE 2 times over, the reduction means we're not getting bonked either, so... It's all good, it's all good. Now we just have to Mysterious Tail into Crobat, one of our 4 Ball Search cards. We still have top deck as well. A top deck of energy unlocks this hand pretty nicely. If the Crobat's in the prizes, that would be great. I guess. They proactively use their VSTAR power, which is so weird, I think. Alright, so it's a Sparkle build. They also proactively belt. Okay, Speed Lightning is huge. Let's start with this. Damn, Crobat not prized. Never lucky. Right. So, like I said, few options. They've gone wide enough that I can attempt to... I guess they could go Sparkle, turn attached DTE here and KO if I try and go slow. So I guess it means we've got to go fast gaming, and we have to try and go Raikou into Palkia. Which is doable. Not fun, but doable. I have Cross Switcher Boss, so I can make the play. We can do the thing. We just have to do the thing, if you get me. If you get my drift. So the speed goes first, I think. No, because if I get Quick or Ultra Ball, I want to play that first. So let's do this. We'll just take the air balloon. Now we'll draw 2 and hope for the best. Alright, Ultra Ball is massive. And Crobat. Okay, that's really, really huge, actually. So I can get rid of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So I'm going 18 with... Oh, sorry, 16 with bats. No, 18 with bats. So I can get rid of Heavy and Vikavolt and get a Palkia down. Yeah, and then I can Lost Vacuum away. Scoop up nets. I could Lost Vacuum away a Cross Switcher. It's risky, but I could do it. It's allowed. Do I go Palkia or do I just go Fish? I think I go Palkia, right? Because it's part of my map anyway. That I need this down this turn. Let's just vacuum away a net. Toss that. For 5. Alright, we're cooking. We're cooking, we're racing, we're cooking. So the game plan now, we need to double Cross Switcher. There's one in our prizes, which could help us. With a melee attack KO with the VSTAR. And we also need to boss KO. And that's probably going to be the VSTAR power turn. So they respond with Meloetta, so I need to be gusting next turn. Get a fleet-footed card as well, don't forget. Velocity has makes no difference. The shoes are fine to play. That's a great outcome. Before I've even seen what I wanted, that's a great outcome. Alright, so we're off. We're going 2-2-2. There's enough Genesects that he can't stop us. Any cross switches from the prizes would be great. No, not quite. They're almost always going Meloetta KO here. Let's see if they can get any V max down in the process, because otherwise this rope can do a huge shift for us. My issue right now is there's only one water in the bin. But we can work on this. Okay, so there are quad fusion energy, everyone. The combos. Some tablets get thrown down. They don't need tablets, and they know it. Wow, no VMAX. Insane. That is so insanely good for us. Okay. And a Melanie. Wow. Okay. Let's Ultra Ball. Don't need this. Don't need this. No, don't need this. Let's go double VSTAR. Let's go Greninja 2. Let's go Melanie for 3. Alright, nice. So we're cycling the Greninja. So that we can get both Palkias ready to rumble. Honestly, I'll probably just play Cross Switches here. Why wouldn't I, right? Attach. I'm going to bench the Vikavolt just for speed lightning energy synergy for next turn. And then we'll sub. We're off to the races. 2 not bad cards. Net's good for Greninja. Cycle. So we're threatening boss for game. We could easily get Roxanne here. Roxanne Path, even. Which is the fear. That's why I put down the Vikavolt, right? Because Speed Lightning is Roxanne proof. Oh, sorry, Path proof. Draw. We see Ultra Ball for some more Genesects. Retreat switch. Okay, that's fine. The tablets are coming in. None of the tablet stuff scares me, because I know we're racing anyway, so I expect them to take 2 prizes no matter what. What worries me is, like, the Roxanne incoming. Alright, there's VMAX. Vacuum denies our little bit of dig with Mysterious Tail. Couple more cards. There's a tablet. And just Cross Fusion Strike, so they cannot stop us from finding Ball search card for... we have one quick ball that could get fish. This is a free promote. We have a lot of cards. Let's get to work. Only 12 in deck. Yeah, there's fish. For boss. And we'll just take our knockout. So yeah, that's a way to race Mew. You just abandon the item lock. You say, I'm a racing deck now. That's basically the idea. If they leave a 2-prizer active, of course. If they don't leave a 2-prizer... I mean, they're often leaving a 2-prizer active, right? I would imagine so. But yeah, not a bad deck. A very scuffed game against Lugia. I mean... It literally, the deck falls apart and looks like a joke deck when you either don't get that item lock or don't get that aggressive attack with Raikou, which we just happened to miss. But we cycled a lot in all of these games. We had some pretty awkward hands, but you just get one piece that gets you into the next, that gets you rolling, and you end up sitting on crazy hand sizes. So yeah, like I said, cool deck, cool engine, underrated I think, and it has genuine strengths in the format, especially with all this random diversity of wacky stuff being played. Item lock is really good at beating wacky stuff. So let me know your thoughts down below. Hope you enjoyed the games today, and I'll see you in another video tomorrow. Cheers.